Alright, so the first from me today. Instead of covering an upcoming movie, we're going to be talking about an upcoming TV series, Moon Knight. So, I do love my TV shows too, so I will be covering some every now and then, but if it's Marvel, then hell, bloody, yes, expect some videos. So, Moon Knight is our next Disney Plus series from Marvel. Who the hell is Moon Knight, I hear you say? Don't worry, as usual, I've got you covered. Now obviously the question will be answered in the show and we are introduced to the character, but you clearly want a heads up, that's why you're here, and I appreciate you being here. While you're at it, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to this channel, it really helps me out. So firstly, let's jump into the comic book history and origins of the character Moon Knight. I've only ever heard of Moon Knight from the LEGO Marvel superhero game and Patton Oswalt's name dropping of him in this incredible ad-libbed filibuster he did, which in the original version for this video I played the clip for here. Unfortunately it got copyrighted, so the description for it is in the link. No, that's the wrong way around. The link for the full video is in the description below. Be sure to check that out, it's hilariously nerdy and impressive. But the character first appeared in Marvel Comics back in 1975. Moon Knight, obviously, not Patton Oswalt. He did appear in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. though, several times, at the same time sometimes. Anyway, a mercenary, US Marine, and a training heavyweight boxer, Mark Spector is one tough son of a bitch. On a job for the African mercenary called Raoul Bushman, they discover an archaeological dig in the desert of an ancient Egyptian temple. In a true Indiana Jones-esque plot, Bushman wants to take all of the golden artifacts they find for himself.
Mine.
One of the archaeologists finds out about this and is like, nah mate, this is for history and a museum or whatever. So Bushman just does what Bane did to that one dude in The Dark Knight Rises.
Do you feel in charge?
No. And Mark is like, whoa, bro, too far. And Bushman's like, well, fuck you then if you don't want to be a bad guy. You're either with me or against me. So he abandons him in the desert they're in, and Mark does his best to survive and makes his way to an old Egyptian temple / tomb thing where he finally reaches it and then dies. The end. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Are you looking forward to Moon Knight? Leave a comment below, like and share this video. I'm kidding. Because this is a comic book world, nobody who really dies stays dead. So when he dies, it is at the feet of a statue of the Egyptian moon god known as Khonshu. Now, Khonshu is a god who is trapped in some other dimension and can't physically enter the Earth realm himself, but can use people sort of like avatars, if you like. Khonshu appears to Mark in a vision and says,
Oh, hi, Mark.
Mark, you shall be reborn if you agree to become Moon Knight. Be my earthly avatar and take vengeance for me whenever I want you to. Because we love vengeance, it's so sexy, ooh. So Mark's like, yeah, okay. Suppose I've got nothing else going on. Just been waiting for GTA 6, so I've got plenty of time. So Mark is reborn. And the cheek of the dude, when he wakes up, he steals the cloak that was on the statue of Khonshu the moon god. So obviously, the first person he takes some sweet, sweet revenge on is the Bushman dude.
He needs some milk.
So he sorts him out and then returns to the US, and he ends up loaded with as much cash as Disney have from investing all that dollar he made as a mercenary.
Be connected. Wow.
So he uses all of his Bitcoin money to fund his campaign as the vigilante Moon Knight. Proper Bruce Wayne Batman vibes if you ask me. So Mark sets up shop in NYC and creates multiple personas to aid in his superhero work. One being Stephen Grant, basically Bruce Wayne again, who is a millionaire and socialite so he can rub shoulders with the elites of the city. Another being a New York cab driver, Jake Lockley, so he can also rub shoulders with the more street level peeps and has an ear on the ground that way too. He's got all areas covered, both sides of the moon if you will. So at this point, my guy has got 4 different personas going on. I think it can be hard enough just being yourself, let alone an ex-mercenary, a cab driver, Bruce Wayne, and a very pale looking Deadpool. So this unfortunately, and I guess maybe expectedly, leads to Mark developing dissociative identity disorder, a multiple personality disorder essentially. In the trailer, we also see he has a sleeping disorder, as at times he can't tell the difference between what is reality and what is a dream. Now at this point, I'm going to play the trailer. If you have seen it already and don't want to watch it again, you can skip ahead using the timestamp in the description below. If not, enjoy.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I have a sleeping disorder. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I think I'm losing it.
We'll catch you on. You're bloody useless. Stevie.
Stephen. I can't tell the difference between life and dreams.
Thank you.
Lost the contact lens.
Hope you find it.
Thanks. Now hold the phone. Yeah.
Oh my god, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark? It must be very difficult. The voice in your head. Shut up! There's chaos in you.
Embrace the chaos.
So as you can see, the sort of twist here and direction they've gone with this for the show, which I really like, is that we first meet the character while he is in his Stephen Grant persona. We then follow Mark on this journey and learn the origins of how he came to be Moon Knight, and hold all of these other personas with him. Now we see 4 of these personas in the trailer, that being of course Moon Knight himself as Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and not the Jake Lockley cab driver persona, but instead we see this costume, suggesting this is another persona he used more recently in the comics, known as Mr. Knight. As you can see, this is super close to his regular Moon Knight outfit, but it's far more sophisticated and refined. It's an all-white tuxedo with gloves and no hood. He uses this more to liaise with the police and stuff, when he's being more of a detective than an action-based vigilante. Again, rather a lot like Batman. So obviously we have covered Moon Knight's character a lot already, so I want to delve deeper into the other characters who we know will play a part in the story, but I do want to point out first that Oscar Isaac is playing the lead of Moon Knight. He has a history of Marvel projects, starring as Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse back in 2016, which also had its origins related to ancient Egypt and pyramids and temples and whatnot. Maybe this is just a very niche typecast that Oscar Isaac has found for himself. And is that X-Men universe now part of the Marvel multiverse? We know Sir Patrick Stewart is back in Doctor Strange 2, a movie I also covered here on this channel. But moving on from Moon Knight himself, I want to talk about the main villain of this series and how they are revealed in an utterly terrifying way to be this old woman here. No, just kidding. So the main antagonist is actually Arthur Harrow. Now in the comics, this dude was a Nazi scientist. His area of expertise was the study of pain. This is actually because he suffers from a condition which leaves him in a state of constant pain and paralysed completely on his entire left side of his body. So without knowing too much, I would take a guess that he's hunting down some ancient artifacts he has discovered to help heal his condition. And Mark, who we know has already been through his ordeal with the moon god in the Egyptian desert, and has knowledge and powers already, would be of great interest to him. So I would imagine he wants to use him to find whatever he wants to help heal himself, or take over the world, because that's just what villains do, I guess. Again, a Nazi scientist wanting to find powerful ancient artifacts in the desert and use some American guy to do it in some way. Sounds familiar, am I right? Arthur Harrow, by the way, will be played by Ethan Hawke. I would say this is an instance where the actor name sounds way cooler than the character's name and should be the other way around. So in better news for our boy Mark, he has an ally in a woman called Layla. We hear her voice on the phone in the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark?
I mentioned earlier about how that nutjob Bushman killed one of the archaeologists. In the comics, this was the father of a woman called Marlene. She goes on to become his close friend and later romantic partner. So Layla could be based on her, or is just a new character with elements of the original Marlene character from the comics. Now, Khonshu the god is seen. His head is basically this big bird-like skull. Reminded me of one of those demon things in the desert from Fable 3, actually. We haven't heard his voice in the trailers, but we do know he'll be voiced by F. Murray Abraham, who loyal Scarface fans will remember as Omar. But this guy has an impressive resume consisting of a number of successful movies and TV shows. We have spoken about Bushman, that crazy son of a. He'll be appearing in the show played played by French actor Loic Mabanza. He is probably more known for being a dancer and choreographer than he is an actor so far. He's performed alongside a number of big artists and has appeared in the Jay-Z music video. On a much sadder note, I have to acknowledge that sadly French actor Gaspard Ulliel, who will be appearing in this series, sadly died in January from a skiing accident. He will be seen as Anton Mogart, better known by his comic book alter ego Midnight Man. Midnight Man does not actually have any powers of his own, he's a master thief and skilled martial artist. Sounds a bit like Catwoman, to be honest, if you want to stick with the Batman comparisons. He is a known villain of Moon Knight, but like most associated, he is an obscure character from the comics. I personally love his appearance in the comics and think he looks really cool. And I can picture how good it would look as a visual to see these two square off on screen in their comic accurate personas. Either way, expect him to be a secondary villain of the show, as Arthur Harrow is certainly the main threat. Very sad news once again regarding Gaspard Ulliel, and I look forward to seeing his performance as Midnight Man in the show. Now, the last character that I want to talk about may not even be in the show at all. As I think with pretty much every MCU Disney Plus series so far, there's a rumour that an original Avenger will be making an appearance. Now, notice how I said original Avenger. That really helps narrow it down because, as we know, Iron Man is dead, Cap is old, Black Widow is dead, and Thor is in space. So that of course just leaves us with either Hawkeye or Bruce Banner / the Hulk. So it could certainly be Hawkeye. He is fresh off his own Disney Plus series, and I'm not sure how close these two shows filmed to each other, but if it was around the same time, I guess he could have easily been available to do some filming for Moon Knight. However, that's not who is likely to appear. According to the Diz Insider Show podcast, hosts Skylar Schuler and Derek Cornell claim to have received some inside info about Mark Ruffalo making a cameo. They don't say as who, Bruce Banner or the Hulk. He did appear as just Bruce Banner in his latest appearance at the end of Shang-Chi, where he is no longer Professor Hulk, he's back to his human form. It's unsure why or how, but it's likely to be explained in another upcoming Disney Plus series, She-Hulk, which Ruffalo is confirmed to be in. Jeez, I'll just keep churning all these shows out and I'll never get a break from making these videos. Why did I decide to do this? Anyway, if you want to know for sure if Bruce Banner is in the series, you'll either have to wait and watch it when it's out, first episode March 30th by the way, or just ask Ruffalo if you see him in person, because the dude will just outright tell you. He couldn't keep secrets and not spoil stuff if his life depended on it. And to be honest, it probably does with the Marvel snipers.
It's a lot of fun.
Did you succeed in saving it?
I can't. Can I say it?
No. I would imagine.
Can I just give him a little taste?
I wouldn't say too much, but you can say as much as. I mean, hey, it's your.
Let me just say this: like every other Marvel movie, it doesn't end well for the superheroes.
That's true. In Marvel, it doesn't end that well. Somebody always bites or gets really badly hurt.
Wait till you see this next
Leaves a
one.
mark.
Everybody dies.
Dude.
Not everybody. No. Is that?
No.
Hey, whatever.
Can we rewind that part?
Yeah. Can we? You'll cut that.
That's
part
not-
out.
Who is there? Anybody in Infinity War you get to meet that you're excited to meet?
Am I in trouble?
A little.
Is Barry gonna be mad at me?
Dude, I just move on. I wouldn't try to like
No,
focus
so
on it.
what's that next question? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would like to meet. It's really interesting because we show
I
up to
get
shoot
impulsive
It's
sometimes.
fine. You're
Okay,
gonna be fine.
let's just
We
get a
show
little
up and we
impulsive.
shoot these.
My personal thoughts to explain the Bruce Banner cameo making sense in this is Bruce is obviously a character who himself has suffered with identity issues between himself and the Hulk. So he could be a massive help and ally to Moon Knight here. Or it could just simply be Moon Knight being lined up to form part of a new Avengers team. You've got to be a pretty powerful person to be an Avenger, which is why I now want to talk about Now, you might not have known or realised this, but it'll sound obvious when I say that Moon Knight's powers are linked with the phases of the moon. So he's at his most powerful when it's a full moon than he is when it's a quarter moon, for example. This includes powers such as superhuman strength, a very strong pain threshold and injury resistance, and sort of immortal. I don't think Mark Spector himself as a normal guy is immortal, but when using powers of Moon Knight, he can certainly be brought back again by the old Khonshu Birdface. He also is able to have prophetic visions and dreams. He's also resistant to telepathy or any form of mind-based attacks. So for example, Wanda couldn't use her tricks on him like she has done to people before. Regardless of having super enhanced powers, with this guy's extensive military experience, he can whoop the ass of most people. He's also a great pilot and a great detective. Sounds like Batman. Yeah, I know, we've done that. We can't keep making that joke. So, are you excited for White Batman? I mean, Moon Knight? What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to hear what you guys think. Did I miss anything important out? What's your favourite Moon Knight fact or knowledge that you have? And I would also super appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to the channel if you want to see some more movie and TV show discussions. Also, hit me up on the gram, Twitter, and now TikTok too. I'm at Mr. J Ryan across all of those platforms. For now, take care guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, wait, before you go. How does Moon Knight cut his hair? He clips it. Please don't unsubscribe.